Hey there. So today I'm going to show you how to make your own cigar mini humidifier. Alright, for this DIY cigar mini humidifier, we're going to start off with some little craft jars. Now, I picked these up at a local dollar store in an 8-pack. I've used a few of them up already, but they're just a little 1-ounce plastic jar. The jar itself is a harder plastic, and the lid is just a snap-on lid made out of a much softer plastic. So, first thing we're going to do, we're just going to set this aside. We don't need this yet. We're going to take this lid and we're going to drill enough holes in it to allow moisture to come and go. So I'm going to take a small block of wood and I'm going to turn this on, lay it on its top, and then take my drill, just whatever size drill bit. It's pretty small, but just as big as you want the holes to actually be. Alright, so once you're happy with the amount of holes you've been able to drill into it, you can see I've got quite a few in there, and that didn't take very long at all. And actually, if you don't have a drill, you can also use a little flathead screwdriver to kind of ream the holes out. It takes considerably longer though. You saw how fast I did it with the drill. Next, I'm just going to take a sharp knife, and just be careful with this part. We're just going to slowly scrape off the excess on the outside. I just like my mine to be a little clean. That roughness up top can collect, you know, dust and whatever else. You can possibly even scratch your cigars if they land on top of it. And if there's any on the inside, you can just very carefully scrape it away. Now you can see, nice and clean, lots of breathing holes. And so here's the finished jar, the lid on. So our next step is our humidifying medium. Now, this is what I have, what I picked up. This is from Habano Care. This is a humidifier jar refill, and these are just little crystals that you soak with either propylene glycol or distilled water. I think that was propylene glycol. Yeah, propylene glycol is what they recommend, but you can also just use regular distilled water, which is what I use. I don't find it necessary to use the propylene glycol, and it can get kind of pricey if you have to order the stuff. Comes in a little tiny bag. This is I think 1 ounce, and this may look like a tiny amount, but this stuff goes a long way. Now, for a jar like this, I'm probably going to use 1/16 of a teaspoon. So you'll place that inside the jar, measure it out. Just if you don't know, how much you should use, just use the tiniest amount and just add water. And if you find that it doesn't fill it up enough, you can always add more of the crystals. If you fill it up too much with the crystals, it can easily overflow given the amount of water that you put in here. So add your crystals into the jar and then slowly add the distilled water into it. So I've had one that I've already made and filled up, and I have it in my little portable humidor. And this is what it looks like. You can see the crystals in there, all soaked up with water. Now I have a hygrometer in there measuring the humidity. I've been opening and closing it, so you can see it right now. It's not ideal, and it's such a small area. I lose all my humidity as soon as I open this thing up. So, but earlier when I first tested it, it was sitting right at about 75%. So, pretty perfect. And these are so small, you can throw them in a small humidor like this, or one of the plastic humidors like the Herfadors, or just a little glass sealed jar if that's where you want to store your cigars. But these little guys are just perfect, especially if you don't have a lot of space, because a lot of those humidifying jars could be really big and take up a lot of your humidor space. Alright, so you saw how easy it was to make this little mini cigar humidifier. The crystals that I used in this, I got that pouch for about $10, and even though it was a tiny little pouch, that bag will probably make dozens of these things. You could even make bigger ones if you found some bigger jars, but I find that these little ones, they fit into small spaces, obviously, like little jars. If you have a small humidor, easily fit into that. And as you can see, they don't leak. Once those crystals have absorbed their water, they hold on to it very well. So not a problem there. I think the total, I probably spent, not including obviously my drill, under $15. The jars, I got that 8-pack for $1. The crystals, another $10. If you need a set of drill bits, those can be picked up for fairly cheap. Like I said, you can also do it with the screwdriver if you need to. I don't recommend it. It's kind of hard on the hands, and it will take you forever. So I hope you enjoyed. Look forward to more people making these. They're much less expensive than some of your, commercially made humidifying jars. Plus, a lot of those don't allow you to actually change out your crystals once they've all been spent, so you have to just throw the whole thing away. With this, you can just pop it open, dump out the old crystals, wash it, add new ones, add water, and you're ready to go again. So, hope you enjoyed. See y'all later.